of the football league where very few people are really truly talking about. And that is the NFC, and more particularly the NFC South. Guys, the NFC South does not have a team that has a winning record right now. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are at number 1 in the division at 5-5. The Falcons are at 4-6. The Panthers are at 3-7, and the Saints are at 3-7, respectively. Not trying to dish anybody, but right now, that division freaking sucks. This was the Atlanta Falcons division to lose till they lost 2 games in a row, and the Bucs won 2 games in a row, and they flip-flop. It is what it is. So, if the Atlanta Falcons were to win the NFC South, then what? Guys, if the Atlanta Falcons win the NFC South and they get a home game in the playoffs, they are going to be one of the worst playoff teams in recent memory in the NFC. They're going to have a losing record, and they are going to get destroyed in the playoffs. Let's flash back to July, August, September timeframe here. Myself, Beastie, Tory, Wyatt, we all sat right here on the Man Hour, and we all collectively said that the Atlanta Falcons are probably the worst team in the NFL. Combs had them not winning 1 game this season. I had them winning 4 or 5. I think Tory was at 5 or 6, and Wyatt was probably the most conservative about it, and he's like 6 or 7. All losing records, right? Not one of us thought they had a chance in the world to compete for the division, compete for a playoff spot, or even be where they're at right now. Let's just flash back a couple weeks ago, guys. Combs was considering putting the Atlanta Falcons in the top 10 of his power rankings just because they have been shocking the world so much. And then, of course, they kind of shit the bed the last couple weeks, but we digress from that. So if the Atlanta Falcons win the NFC South, then the NFC South will be represented by a team with a losing record. Why do I say that? Let's look at the Falcons' schedule moving forward. They play the Bears this weekend at Atlanta. Bonus there, but that's still a loss. Then they travel to Washington, D.C. to take on the Commanders. That is a loss. Then they're at home versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. I want to give them that win just because they got to get some wins somewhere. But the Pittsburgh Steelers are kind of that sneaky team that might sneak up on you and bite you in the ass. Then they travel to New Orleans to take on the Saints. A tough place to play, a division game, but I have them winning that game as well. And then they're at the Ravens. That is a loss. And then they finish 2 games at home versus the Arizona Cardinals, which they should win. And the Buccaneers, that they're in a must-win situation. They're probably battling for the division at that point. And that puts them at 8-9. So if they were to win the division, which the question states, then they will have a losing record. And the NFC will be represented by the 4th seed with the 8-9 team with the losing record. And then people will be up in arms, flipping the bricks, flipping cars over. We need to restructure the playoffs. This is crap. We should never have a losing team. Rah, 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 rah. No, that's not going to happen. What is going to happen is going to be an 18th game slid into the NFL season. So there's never going to be a losing team in the playoffs again. We're going to only have 500 team names again. Instead of 8-8, we'll be at 9-9. And bada bing, bada boom. Everybody's happy again, right? But yeah. If the Atlanta Falcons win the NFC South, the South will be represented with a team with the losing record. The NFC least is now the NFC loose? I don't know. For checking out that Man Hour clip. If you're interested in the next video, click the link right here. Of course, subscribe right here. And always join us Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. East Coast time, right here where you're watching this clip. And as always, Man Hour Nation, rise up.